Wordle, the simple 5-letter word game that has taken the world by storm. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're familiar with the game already. What you are likely less familiar with is that it spawned a whole new genre of games that I call Wordle-likes. There's not just a couple of Wordle-likes. It's not a dozen Wordle-likes. Wordle has inspired hundreds and hundreds of new games. There are geography Wordle-likes, movie Wordle-likes, murder Wordle-likes, quiz Wordle-likes, joke Wordle-likes, just an insane amount of games. Now, if we're honest with ourselves, some of these are a bit rubbish. Check out this game where you need to guess the mystery dinosaur. Gross. But there are also some good ones. A lot of good ones. I've been on a quest to stream myself beating every single one of these, and today I'd like to share with you part 1 of my top 10 brutally difficult Wordle-likes. What we consider a Wordle-like is very, very simple. It needs to be a free, browser-based game with a new puzzle every day. You might be saying to me, Tom, crosswords have been doing that for a long time. Don't care, that's the definition. I'm rating my top 10 games with a very complicated data science-driven algorithm. We rate the difficulty out of 10, the fun out of 10, bring them together, and it gets a total score out of 20. Mind-blowing genius. Absolutely brilliant. Let me know in the comments below what Wordle-like game I need to play. Like, subscribe, you know the drill. More lists coming. Top fun, top funniest, top interesting, top geography. They're on their way. Or even better, come join me for a live stream where we can play these games together. Enough stuffing about, let's get to number 10. Now throw a timer down there so you can have a bit of an indication of how long each of these games actually take to beat. And we're going to start off with the Wordle just as a benchmark to help you understand how much more difficult these other games really are. If you haven't played before, it's actually very, very simple. We're just trying to find one 5-letter word. I put in other words. If letters in the word that I put in are grey, then they're not in the word. If they're yellow, they're in the word but a different spot. And if they're green, right letter, right spot. Let's set that timer off and see how long it takes us to solve today's Wordle. If I fail this, it's gonna break my entire video. So fingers crossed, go. We're gonna start with solve. We've got an O in the second spot, an E not at the end. Try power. Oh, that is so good. What is it? Poda, poga, poker. Poker. Boom. What is that? 30 seconds? It's a brilliantly fun game, but sometimes you want something that's going to take a little bit more than 30 seconds, although I admit we got very, very lucky today with those guesses. Moving on to our real first game. It's called Moo-rdle. Now, what is Moo-rdle? If you ever played Cows and Bulls or Mastermind, you've probably already figured out how this works. It's very similar to the Wordle we just played, but instead of letters being green and yellow, we're only told how many greens and yellows there are in the word. And that tiny, tiny difference makes this a lot harder, I promise you. Let's reset the timer. I'm going to start with poker because that was the Wordle. We have one yellow. So you can see already, not knowing which letter is a yellow, it's going to cause a little bit of pain. I think for this sort of game, you want to use different letters as much as possible to try and get as many yellows and greens as possible and then start to combine later, because trying to figure out which poker is yellow is a bit of a mug's game. It's going to take a lot of guesses, and even if we do a lot more guesses and we still get one yellow or one green, we don't know if it's the new letters we introduce or one of the letters from poker. So we've got 2 yellows and 1 green between those 3 words. I just want to use more letters again, so Chads is what I've found. Learned very, very little. Still missing 1 letter, which is one of these here. Unless we've got a duplicate letter in there, which might be the case as well. I want to start combining these to see if we can learn anything. I'm going to use the word cheat. 2 yellows in it. So that one of these CH is probably a yellow from Chads. E from the poker, maybe a yellow. This T might still be a yellow. We haven't learned much. You can already see how much more difficult this is. Now it's a good time to start moving those letters around. Okay, so I've done heaps there, which is probably not as much information as we wanted to learn. I've only got 3 guesses left, but I really want to know if that T was in it. We know there's no T in it. We can actually label these up a little bit and try to combine the information that we've learned so far into a logical story between all of these words. So we know the T is definitely in it. That's green. That's yellow. L can't be in it because there's only one more green left in this line and the green T is there. So we do know there's no L. Do we know anything else? No, I'm going to try hacks. Okay, that's actually the almost the best thing that can happen is to get 0 grays because it's actually positive information. It's positive information. You know for sure that all these aren't letters, and the game's kind enough to grey them all out for me all the way up. That we can continue on trying to solve this. We know that E is green now. That is such a lucky guess to get no hits there. That P is not there. That means this P is not there. We're something E, something T, something. No, we know there is an E. So that means the rest of these are grey. And then that E is yellow as well. Could be 2 E's. We might have an E at the end as well. Don't know which of this B, U, and I still are right. It can't be this U, actually, because we only have one more green in here. And we know the E's there. Could be something like deity. If this I is right, we know there's a D, actually. I didn't notice that, but all of these letters were in hacks, so we got rid of them. We know there's a D. The D can go there. If this I is right, if that's the green one, then that goes there. We haven't tested a Y yet. I've got a good feeling about this. Boom. 7 minutes. Right on the dot. That's, I'm talking through these, so it should take a little bit longer than you, but straight away, that was 14 times longer than Wordle. That one puzzle done, but we got it done. This is quite a fun one. Very, very true to the original Wordle. It gets a 7 for difficulty, a 6 for fun, for a total of 13 Wordle-like points. Before I forget, all of these games will be in the description below, so check them out if you want to have a go at these. I'll put a link to my spreadsheet where I'm tracking my progress and my ratings and everything. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9, Periodle. Now this is one that's gonna score a little bit less on the fun and a little bit more on the difficulty. Another very, very honest game to Wordle. Now this is the same as Wordle, except you have to figure out the word that's used up by the periodic elements in the periodic table, the symbols to build the word. Now, it's not necessarily going to be a 5-letter word. It might be up to a 10-letter word because a lot of these periodic table elements are 2 letters. This one is really, really hard. I expect it's going to take me at least 15 minutes. I might have to give up on it. I've beaten this every time I've tried it so far, which is about 3 times, but it is rough. It is rough. It is rough. Let's reset the timer and begin. Now, in this game, it's hard to even find words to put into the game because you're not going to have every single combination of even individual letters available. There's only about 10 elements, I think, with single letters. And 90% of words you're not going to be able to even spell. What I like to do with this one is I go to the help and I use the examples that they put there. They couldn't even think of 2 examples that had different letters. You see that? Repeat P, E, R. We're going to start with copper. We've got a yellow C. There's a C somewhere in here. That's not that helpful. One little tip that I only realized after playing this a few times is you can actually just type in the word you're thinking of. And if it can be made up of elements, it will be made up of elements. So something like licenses, which I've just thought of off the cuff, will come up. But then licensed, because there's no ED, we can't fulfill that. It doesn't work. If you're like me and you might have forgotten all 118 atomic symbols and you don't have them right here ready to go, this is an easy way to just test things and hope they work. Let's try licenses. A little bit more information. We've definitely got an LI, which is interesting. Lyces. That puts the LI somewhere else. It puts C somewhere else. Okay. Really hoping that one would do better. I'm quite happy that I've even thought of 2 words so far in 2.5 minutes. Frolic works. It does put the C back in the same spot, but we at least test the LI. We test a lot of new letters. I'm just going to put that in. It's just too hard to think of words. How many yellows? Come on, Periodle. Be a little bit kinder to me. I'm trying my best here. I'm trying my best. Can we think of any words that end in li, like broccoli? I doubt it's going to accept that. We've either got the li in 4th position or 5th position. Broccolis? What? That took me a while to think of. But you reuse a few letters there, like S and O, which I shouldn't have, but at least we've got the li. How does this work with the C and K? We can only have one of the C or K after the li. And with LIK, maybe LIC. Oh wow, we can do Republic. Come on, one time. It is LIC. Okay, we're down to 2 guesses. I have no idea what this word starts with. One of the things I didn't explain before, but there's actually an orange color. And what the orange tells you is if a letter like O is in the final word, but part of a combined 2-letter function, then it would be orange. So something like alcoholic, which we can actually make, can't be the word because we know there's no O in the word. Let me just check that that's how it works. Yes. Metallic. Acrylic. Phallic? It's a little off the cuff. We don't have a P. We only have 2 guesses left. I can't guess a word with letters that we know aren't in it. Gelic. Think, Tom. Think harder. Think harder. Alex. Fits. Almost. The L-I and the C aren't in the right spot. Alcoholic. We know there's no O. Okay, I've thought of a lot of LIC words. I'm having trouble thinking of any more. I've looked up words that end in LIC. I need the crutch. I'm not ashamed. One of these must be it. Surely. Bimetallic? Semi-public? I'm avoiding words with O's because we know there's no O. We know there's no S. Genitalic works. Is there any reason why it can't be genitalic besides the obvious? 32 still in play. 28 isn't. I'm putting it in. I need... It's not right. We got one more chance to save this. I'm not even sure if I can find this word. Phallic fits. Which is sort of like genitalic in a way. We could still have the AL. We could still have the H. We can't have the P. Oh, we know we have to have a K as well. Gotta be alkalic, maybe? The AI is still in play. The K needs to be there somewhere. We've got another AI, that's fine. No! That's gotta be the LI there. Oh, so close. Helps that I know I only need to look at words with K in it. That was alkalic. Alkylic. Y with 39 still in. K is still in at 19. 13. AL is still in. LI is in the right spot. What? C is in the right spot. It could be right. It must probably not. Let's go! Oh, gosh. Wow, that was so tough. Did you manage to get alkylic? Gosh. That's taken me almost 18 minutes with a crutch right there. Needed help to get it over the line. Very lucky to get there on the last guess. That's tough. That one is tough. It's a brain buster. That's the rank 9. 8.5 for difficulty, a 5 for fun, for a total Wordle-like brutal points of 13.5. Now this next game, a lot of you might have seen that there are Wordle-like games where you have to solve 2 at a time, or 4 at a time, or 8 at a time, or 16 at a time. There's even ones where you have to solve 1,000 at a time. Don't play this, it's not fun. It didn't make the list. It lost points on the fun side. You don't make it on 10 difficulty points and 1 fun point to the list. Now this is sort of like the multiple Wordle games, where you do have to solve 2 at a time, but how you're doing is shared in the information that comes back to you. It gives us a little sample up here, M-A-D-L-Y, madly, if you can read. Usually on Wordle, you'd be like, I'm doing pretty well, look at all these yellows, this isn't going to be a long time. But in this case, across the 2 words, those yellows are shared. So the D may be in one word, the L in another word, the A in the second word, the M in the first word. You need to decipher how these fit into the 2 words. And by the time you get to the end, you need to guess both the full words. Now, you can even get 5 greens without guessing a word here if those 5 greens are across the 2 words. So it's really, really clever, this game. It's very elegant, very simple. It's very fun. I like this one quite a lot. It gets the brain going a lot. This one shouldn't take us 20 minutes like the last one did, the Periodle did. One thing to note is that the 2 words don't share letters. So this yellow L lives in only one of the words. One word might have a repeat letter in it. Makes it very, very tricky when you get repeat letters in this game because you're scratching your head going, I've only got 7 or 8 yellows or greens. What's the other one? Anyway, timer on. Let's begin with the Xordle. Boom. I think I first want to just get some more letters in this game, like we did in the Moo-rdle, to start to figure out what letters are in the 2 words. 2 greens there's pretty good. We've got an S that's yellow. I might try to start to place some of these yellows. I'm not going to try and guess a word yet because I don't have enough information. Maybe something like slams. We've got 3 yellows in this guess. They're all in different spots. 4 yellows if you count the repeat S. Oh, that gives us a lot of information. So one of the words has an S there, an L there, a U there, an M there, an E there. One of them might be like bloom. Let's get a few more letters going. Rack our brain for a few more letters. That's not useful. I shouldn't have put the A in the middle. That's a waste, Tom. That's silly. You're better than this. Not really. Come on. Might do adept. Now that contests if there's a double E. E is the most common letter, so if anything's going to double, it's most likely the E. All the other letters are new except the A, which we test in a new spot. Okay, the E was a bit silly to test because it's yellow. That doesn't actually tell me anything unless it was right there. We do have a lot more information though. We still need to place P, E, A, D, and S. Spade is a word, but I don't want to put the A in the 3rd spot again. Come on, Tom. You can get this in under 10 minutes, surely. We might try plume. It could be one of the words. I'm just going to go for it. No. Silly guess. Doesn't help us even place the P. Not useful, Tom. Oh, it wouldn't have helped. It couldn't have been plume because we have the A and the S already. Our 2 words, we know what they start with. Spine could work. We haven't tested the I yet, which we really should have. We haven't tested the N yet either. I'm just going to go for it. Okay, I've only got 2 guesses left. This has gone very, very poorly. I think spine could have been right. I didn't see any reason why it wouldn't have been. We know there's a U and an I in the middle. We know the P actually has to be in the 5th spot now because it can't be in the 1st, it can't be in the 2nd, it can't be in the 4th. And as I said, the 3rd spot's used by U and I. Do we know where the D goes? Can't go in the 1st spot because that's S and A. Can't be going in the 3rd spot, that's U and I. Can't be in the 5th spot because that's E and P, so it must be in the 4th spot. D's going to go with the E there. It's not a word, Tom. I guess better for it to not to be a word. Of course, a lute has 2 L's. I'm under too much pressure. It's not a word. I've just been looking. S-L-I-M-E. It's all green. 5 green letters. It's not right. See the huh? Huh? Means that we got 5 green without guessing the word. No. We've already lost. Let's try and at least get one of these words. We were on a roll. We'd gotten through all the games so far. Can't win them all. These are the brutally hard games. Well, it didn't work either. We got another huh. Abide and slump. You can see how tricky that one is. That's a really good, fun game, though. I enjoy it. That's one that you might even want to do every day. We spent 10 minutes failing it. But even though I failed it, I enjoyed it more than the Periodle, I'll tell you that much. At rank 8, the Xordle gets a 7 for difficulty, a 7 for fun, for a total of 14 Wordle-like brutal points. I can't remember what I keep calling these points. Moving on. Now next we get a game that looks very, very similar to the last one we played. You can even see it's using the same template. It's called the Fibble. This one's a little bit trickier than the Xordle. And sort of like the Moo-rdle, where you're given incomplete information. So what makes this one so tricky? Every single line has exactly 1 lie. And I promise you, it's far harder than those other 2. You need to work your way through the information, figure out which clue it's giving you is a lie. So maybe this Y is in the word. Maybe this E isn't in the word. Maybe this L is meant to be yellow. Maybe this G is meant to be green. I don't know. But you've got to keep putting in words, beware the lies, and try and solve this one. This is probably going to take me about 15 minutes, I think, to get through if we can solve it. I've failed this one more than I've beaten it, but we're going to give it a go. Restart the timer. Let's begin. You want to just get as many letters in there as possible and start to use the information against each other to start disparaging and calling out the lies, you wicked liars. Crude. I'm interested in this double yellow E. We know there's at least one E in the word because of the double yellow. I'm not sure I should have used another E, but we've got something very interesting already. One of these two must be a lie because they can't both be green. They might both be lies. Who knows? I might try to reuse one of these letters here to see if we're getting consistent. The game seems to give you the worst information possible. Like, it'll give you the same letter as a lie multiple times with green and yellow, and you get stuck on it thinking, oh, it's 1 in 5, it has to be there, and then it's not. I really want to test out these yellows and green ones. I'm going to try lures. And that puts the E in a new spot, which we know there's at least one E because these both can't be lies. There might be 2 E's if the L is a lie. Let's just see what that gives us. I think I just need to get some more letters, put some more words in, and then return to the scene of the crime. Double E there again, and just see what it tells us. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. We've got the yellow there and the green there. One of these two is a lie, and we know one of these two is a lie. So far, the only thing I know for sure is we've definitely got an E. It's really hard to figure out if you want to try and reuse things to understand the letters you have or put in more letters. Phone would give us an P-H-O-N. Test the E again. Yeah, we think that E is true. I don't know. Like, my working theory up here might not even be right. I need to reuse some of these letters. Some of the ones that we've got a lot of yellow and green on and try to catch it out in its lies. Nice that it also sort of tells you the information that you've highlighted above in the keyboard. So this is telling us that we think that there's no Y, U, G, C, D, L, and that there is an E. Tyler would reuse all of those letters. Whoa! Okay, we're starting to get somewhere. That means that at least 4 of the letters, maybe 5, in Pilar are in our word. Now let's see if we can keep this consistent. If that P is a lie, one of these two is a lie. That's very, very interesting that out of these 2 P's, I want to assume that that E is true. And we said we think that L is true. I'm going to try lifer. Hey, one of these 2 I's is a lie. What is going on? I might need to have to unhighlight these and start again because I'm so confused. There's so much conflicting information to work through in this. So we can say for sure that there's definitely an L. Because one of these 2 must be a lie, then one of these 2 L's at least must be true. So we know that there's an L, probably in the second spot, which is what we've set up here. Let's assume this P's a lie. And then what does that tell us? P's a lie, then that I is in there. Flyer? I don't think so. P and that R would both be lies because they both actually have to be green. I don't know if it'll accept this spelling of flyer, but let's check out if this can actually work. That would mean the E is right there. The R is a lie there. No, it doesn't work because that means the R and the I is a lie. But we think that I is a lie there, don't we? I think there's only one E. It could really be 2 E's, couldn't there? Maybe all of this conjecture so far has been absolute nonsense. Come on, Tom. Think harder. You can do it. Clearing out all the clues. I don't like my assumption with the double E's. Especially with 2 of these E's here. It's a fun word. That's been used in my stream. I don't remember what to describe, but if someone describes something as creepy. Anyway. If creep was the word, then that would be true. No, the first word doesn't work. The first word doesn't work. The I's. We know there can't be an I in the second position because that would make both of these wrong. But we know there is an I. We know there is an I. We know there is an E. We know that the second letter is either an L or an R. I forgot that. The second letter is either an L or an R. The lie. The lie. True. That's true. That's true. No. Really like the R in the second spot because then means these are true here and then this one's true here. No. Oh gosh, I'm so confused. What is going on? This I and the L is yellow there, and then this L and the I is grey there. I don't think we have an I. Didn't I say we've had to have an I? One of these two is a lie, and then one of these two is a lie. Start again. That's true, that's true, that's true, that's true, that's true. That's true, that's true, that's true, that's true. Those are true because they're repeats of that. That's true. That's a lie because we know the P's yellow. Okay, we might be able to get this. It's already been 16 minutes. Can these I's both really be lies? No, if those are both lies, then the L has to be... If the I's are both lies, then there can't be an L. Then that's a lie. Then that I is true, and there is an I. But then this L has to be true, and those two can't be true together. Gee whiz, okay. I don't remember the information that I was bifurcating with. We know that the no I is true. We know that the no I is true. Means that L must be a lie, and this I must be a lie. This L is true, so we've definitely got an L. We've got a P, an E, and an R. I think it's consistent and it's true so far. We've got an E there. Would be an L there. It's likely, isn't it? P. It's not at the start. R, L, E, P. Let me put them when I think the letters probably are. Maybe an R at the start. R, L, P, E. Can't start with a P either. Elper? I need to clean up. I'll get me Elper. Can't end with an R either. Oh, no. Llama? Can't be llama. It can't be llama. So that L is a lie, which means that there's an F in there as well. FLRP. FLRPE. FLRPE. You doing? FLRPE. Reset. Wow, I've taken a long time to get through this game before, but it's never been like this. We've proven there's no I, so that must be the lie there. We definitely have a PLER, surely. But we don't think there's an F, which would mean that there is an... Oh, that L's yellow. Oh, it's yellow. It's something like pearl. L, repel. Repel work would be the lie. That would be the lie. These are all true. That's fine. That's true. That's true. That's the lie. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's the lie. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's the lie. Come on. True, true. There is an L and an R. I think repel works. I think repel works. This L being a lie and the R being a lie, I thought for sure one of these had to be true, and that's where I stuffed up. I thought, oh, one of them has to be a lie. It's like, no, both of them can be a lie, Tom. Both of them can be a lie. I'm so sorry. Luckily for you, I'll edit that down to very... While I'm the one dealing with that. That's the Fibble. The Fibble at rank 7 gets an 8.5 for difficulty, a 6 for fun. No more Fibble. I'm gonna struggle with the rest of these. It doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier. Reset the timer. Now at number 6, we have an interesting take called Wordipede. How do you play Wordipede? Well, you have to change one letter at a time to complete the chain of words. What makes this one hard is you actually have to solve 5 puzzles daily. I'm only going to do 2 to give you a bit of a flavour because I've been recording for ages and I got to get through the rest of these games. You change one letter at a time. You can only change one letter at a time. You need to create a real word, chain of words. You can come from bottom up, up, down, and then you got to get from Hetty to Bats in this case. Start the timer. Because I'm only playing a couple of these, it's actually a nice little break. So a word like hets it won't accept because that's not a word, obviously. Betty is a word, apparently, which helps. And then you go batty and bats. So nice and easy. I needed the break. You gotta solve 5 of these each day and they get harder and harder and harder. As I said, I'm only doing a couple of these. Hell to rard. Reaped? No. Reared? No. Do paired from the bottom. You can put in a word which is either going to hit the top or the bottom, and it will just accept it and tell you where it goes, which is a really, really nice feature of this one. Oh, Tom, my brain's fried. You're probably staring at this going, Tom, why did you go red, paired, red? My brain was fried from the last one. I'm sorry. I'm so, so sorry. Start again. I think I want to get to that ED as quickly as I can. It's hard to think of words that end in EL. I think I want to get to ED as quickly as I can. I'm completely confused. I've tried replacing the letter L at the end with every letter. Doesn't work. And I've tried replacing the R at the start with every letter. Doesn't work. I change the E in the second spot to every vowel. Doesn't work. Tried to change this E to every vowel. Doesn't work. Can I change this E in the middle to something? Revel. Oh, come! Revel! Unravel, raved, rad. Oh no, 7 minutes. I've got to make up with that one. We're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more. Come on. Now, this one's gonna be tricky. Getting this a consonant into a vowel is not easy. They're always the hardest things to do. You've got to figure out how can I turn this into a vowel with a word. So it'd be nice if toes was a word, but it isn't. We've got to change that A in the third spot to an L somehow as well. Crazy hard. Owls it accepts, so then we could do something like claws or craws or chats, and then I can do coats, and then colts, and then malts. Okay, a little bit of self-respect back getting through that one. That only took a couple of minutes, unlike the last one. I'm not going to do the last two. I'm not going to do the last two. Not going to do them. I'm tempted to, but I'm not going to do them. So that's the Wordipede. There's another one like it called the Weaver, which is super popular. This one's fun because you get 5 in a day. Like, what else can you ask for? As I said, it gets harder and harder and harder. The last two are really, really difficult. I don't have the time to do them or the patience. It gets a 9 for difficulty, a 6 for fun, 15 total brutal Wordle-like points. Originally, this was going to just be one video of the top 10, but silly me underestimated how long it would take to solve all 10 puzzles. So that's part 1 done. Make sure to like and subscribe to catch the top 5. They get more clever, they get more brutal, they get more insane. You're gonna want to see it. Join me for the live stream. Like, subscribe, notifications on. I'll see you in the next one.